Okay, we're back after the break. All right, we're going to talk about this problem right over here now. And to do it, what I'm going to do is just a little bit easier for me. And I'll tell you the reason it's easier for me is I think I can do the derivatives much easier. Some of these problems really are nightmarish with the derivatives. There's no doubt about it. And you should be thankful that machines can do these things really quickly. But we're trying to learn things by hand. So the first thing I'd write down is what f of x is, and that's e to the 2x. And the derivatives over here are really going to go smoothly. And it's going to be 2 e to the 2x. This one double prime is going to be 4 e to the 2x. F triple prime is going to be 8 e to the 2x. All right. So then the question is, what do they want you to do now? They want you to evaluate these things at certain values. And I'll put this down for you. So we're going to evaluate these at ln2. Now, someone said, oh, they're killing me with these numbers. Not really. These are really easy numbers to deal with. Let's see. What's ln? That would be what? Well, that would be e to the ln4, which is just be 4. This would be 2 times 4, which is 8. Then this would be 16. And this would be 32. All right. Now, what I want to do is I just want to make sure you know that I want to check this, right, as if I was doing homework. I feel pretty good about that. Now I'm going to put down the polynomials I want, T2 and T3. Let's write this down. T2, 4 plus 8 x minus the natural log of 2 plus 16 x minus the natural log of 2 squared over 2 factorial. Now I'm gonna clean it up a little bit because 16 over 2 doesn't look right to me. I'm gonna write that down. It's just simply 8. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. We'll check it later. Now I'm gonna write down T3. Well, I got these terms down. I might as well reuse them, not do it again. And then when you get over here, well, it's going to be plus, let's see, 32, right? And x minus ln 2 to the, I'm sorry, that's a 2, to the third power over 6, because that's 3 factorial. And 32 over 6 can be reduced, right? So it's going to be 16 thirds, right? Let me get my eraser out. And again, I know this is tedious and long for students. Let's take a look, see how we've done. And I'm looking. I'm hoping you're looking too. Let's see if I did that right. 4 plus 8, x minus ln 2, 8 times. Yeah, I did all right. Next one, I'm looking at that one as well. And I did that good too. All right, let's go to the next page. And this one here looks nasty. It really does. And the reason for that is it's something about that. Derivatives might get tough. We're going back and forth between, difficult and easy. Let's write this down and I'll check it with the key. So whoops, I'll go back to black ink. Well, I'll write the first derivative down. Be very careful. X squared, x times the natural log derivative, which is 1 over x, minus the top, which is the natural log of x, times the bottom, which is 1, which is going to give us 1 minus the natural log of x over x. All right, let's do the second derivative. And again, we're doing T2, T2, T3. So that's a third derivative now. X squared, X times the derivative of the top, which is minus 1 over X, minus the top, we'll clean it up later, times the derivative of the bottom. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. I just saw it. I'm glad I looked because I thought it was too easy. That's X squared. Sorry about that. Again, we have a key to check with later. X4, this would be X squared times over the top, which is going to be minus 1 over X minus the top times over the bottom, which is 2X. I have to simplify it because I got to get a third derivative. This would be a nightmare for me if I didn't simplify it. So what do you get over here? Minus X, right? Because X squared times minus 1 over X is minus X, minus 2X plus 2X ln X over X4. I'm still going to simplify it. And yeah, I realize that for a lot of students, they say, oh, this is just too much work. I'm not going to do it. That's minus 3X plus 2X ln X equals, well, I'm going to divide through by X now. So it's going to be 2 ln X minus 3 over X cubed. All right. Now I'm going to go back over the key and see how we're doing. All right. Like an update on what we're doing. I got F of X right. How could you get that wrong? I got this one right. And I got this one right. I feel good about it. All right. I really do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go third derivative now. See if we get about 100. Okay, it's going to be tough. It's going to be X6, X cubed times the derivative of the top, which is 2 over X, minus the top times the derivative of the bottom, which is 3X squared. That's not so bad, right? So what do you get over here? I'll be very careful. This would be 2X squared. And then what are you going to get? You're going to get plus 9X squared minus 6X squared ln X over X6. I'm going to keep going. That's going to be 11X squared. I do okay there? Yeah, I think so. Minus 6X squared ln X over X6. I'm going to divide through by X squared now. 11 minus 6 ln X over X4. Let's hope I didn't make a mirror there. Wow, got that one right too. So all these are bingos over here. I feel good about that. Now someone says, what are you going to do now? Well, I need to evaluate these guys at the numbers. All right, what numbers do I need to evaluate at 1? Let's put that down for you. So f of X, when X is 1, would be the natural log of 1, which is 0, divided by 1, which is 0. That was nice. F prime at 1 is going to be 1 over 1, which is 1. F double prime at 1 is going to be minus 3. And F triple prime at 1, going to look at that, that's going to be 11. Let's check it. Got that? What do I do? T2, T3. Let's write this down for you now. T2, T3. 0 plus, again, these are centered at 1, minus 3x minus 1 squared over 2 factorial, which is 2. Let's put down T3, 0 plus 1 times x minus 1 minus 3 halves x minus 1 cubed. And then we can get plus 11. I'm sorry, that's a square. X minus 1 cubed over 3 factorial, which is 6. All right, let's check it. See how we did. And I got the answers right over here. I'm going to check it one at a time. And let's see if I got this one. They didn't put the 0 down, but that's fine. Yeah, did I right there? Did I get this one? Again, they didn't put the 0 down, but that's fine. And I'm just looking term by term. Well, got it. Perfect. All right, so this one over here, a little more difficult, by the way, because I think it's a calculator. All right, so find T2. I can find T2. That's pretty simple. I'll put that down. All right, let's write down T2. So I got f of x. Now remember, if you're on exam, you can't do the actual problem. Just write down what you can do. Like if you can find the Taylor polynomial centered at 0, that would be a good thing. So let's put this down. So what do you get over here? Well, it's e to the x, and f prime x would be e to the x. This would be a gift. F double prime x e to the x. I could do that all day long. Might as well put T2 down now. What's T2? I got to evaluate these things somewhere, right? It's 0, right? I'll put this over here. I could do all day long too, right? Well, that's a nice one. It's going to be 1 plus, let's see, that would be x minus 0, which is x, plus x squared over 2. Okay? Okay, so I want to point out what this is. They say A is the center. I hope you realize they want me to evaluate this at that number. And this requires a calculator. Okay, 5 decimal places. So what they want me to do is they want me to do this computation here, and I'll write it down for it. I'll go to computer second. Whoops, sorry about that. They want me to evaluate E at minus 0.1. And then they want me to subtract away T2, evaluate it. So I want to point out what that means to me. Now, what's T2? T2 is a polynomial, and what is it going to be? Minus 1/10. I'm going to write the number down for you because I can do some arithmetic. So it's going to be 1 minus 1/10 plus 1 over 200, right? I'm going to continue the arithmetic. It's a 200. I mean, 200 minus, let's see, 20 plus 1. And what do you get there? That's 181 over 200. All right, so I got that. I'll write that down. 181 over 200. Now, the one thing I can't do, and I'll be honest with you, I can't do e to the minus 0.1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a calculator. And I'm actually going to do it. I'm not going to show it to you, though. But what I want to do is I want to go to my Sage. Oh, you know what? I will show it to you. Let me do a new share. And let me just show you this. And let me clear. And I guess what I should show you, yeah, I think I did that one over there. And we're doing this one now. So I got the right Taylor polynomial for that. Oh, and I got to do this now. I got to do my absolute value, ABS. Looking at my whiteboard though, e to the minus 0.1. Subtract 181 divided by 200. I'm going to put a decimal there just to make sure it does okay. Whoa, I made a mistake somewhere. I see it now. No need to read the error message. Forgot to put the caret in. You get that number over there. Now to 5 places, what would you get? 0, 0. You get 0.000, 3 zeros, 1, 6. Yep, same number they got over there. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, I'm going to stop that share. And I'm going to go back to my whiteboard now. Again, this is a tedious homework questions. I know that. For a lot of students are overwhelming in the amount of work they have to do. All right, and I'm going to go to the next page. And we just finished this off over here. We just finished it. Let's do number 8, last problem. And it says, use a calculator to compute the error. Well, it almost looked the same question for the given, the center 0. I like that. And they want me to compute the error. And again, write this down. I want to point out though, pi over 6 is pretty far from that center. All right. So let's see if we can get I think for the most part, I'm getting a little better at this, and maybe I can get these things pretty quickly, but in time you're going to get much better. I'm not saying that's going to be always slow at it. So f of x is cosine x, and f prime of x is going to be minus sine x. And they say T2, right? Let's put this down, double prime. And that's going to be minus cosine of x. What's our center? Our center is 0. So I think I can do that. So f of 0 is 1. F prime of 0 is 0. And f double prime of 0 is going to be minus 1. So T2 is going to be 1 plus 0 times x minus 1 times x squared over 2. All right. So let me write down what T2 actually looks like to me. It looks like 1 minus x squared over 2. Now, granted, if I were doing homework, I'd say, I wonder if I got that right. And they do write it down for you. All right. What do they want me to do? And I got to figure this out. I mean, I got to figure out what f of, I'll write this down for you, what f of pi over 6 is. And remind you, it's a math 120 question. Pi over 6 is 30 degrees. Let me draw a triangle for you so you know what I'm talking about. That'll be 1, 2, and this would be root 3. So what's cosine? What's cosine? Root 3 over 2. Okay, that's what that is. Then the question is, what's T2 evaluate that number? And I'll write it down for you. It's kind of nightmarish though. T2 evaluated at pi over 6 is going to be equal to 1 minus pi squared over 72. All right. Now they want to know the error. These are not equal. There's no way you could look at those two and say they're equal. They want to know what the difference between these two is. I got to write that down as if I was doing arithmetic. So it's going to be the absolute value. Well, f of x is root 3 over 2 minus T2. And what's that going to be? Minus 1 plus pi squared over 72. Well, I have to go to the calculator. I can't do that. All right. And I want to go to the calculator and see what I end up with. Right. So I'm going to do that now. Give me 1 second to do so. I'm going to switch screens again. And just give me a second to do so. All right. And I'm looking at my whiteboard. And I want to do the absolute value, ABS. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm in the wrong screen. That's why it's beeping at me. Square root of 3, SQRT. I'm going to put down 3.0 because I'm really forcing it to do a decimal. Divide by 2. Minus 1. Whoops, sorry about that. Minus 1 plus, and that's going to be pi. So it's pi squared, right? So I'll put this over here. Pi squared. This is going to generate an odd answer to you, but I'll put out, I got to fix the odd answers for you. So I'll put this over here. I'm seeing, I don't like that answer. I want an approximation. So what it's not approximating is not approximating pi. So I want to go back over here and I'm going to put this end notation down. And then I'm going to square it. Right. Then I'm going to divide by 72. Now, granted, maybe I make a mistake. I don't know. And what do you get? Well, you get the number they got, which is 0.0031. Right. You get the idea? You're getting the same number they got over there. All right. I realize this was a really tedious section. What's the worst part about it? Those derivatives. It's maddeningly difficult. The evaluations at the derivatives, that can be maddeningly difficult. Also, sometimes your derivative doesn't look like the derivative I have written down. So what does that require? Thinking, reworking, going back to 120 and verifying identities. It takes effort though. An education, I want to be honest with you, takes tremendous effort. And once you catch on to that, you're going to see it as a lifetime goal. It just never ends. All right. Thank you.